Today we're going to talk about how to properly manipulate your AK in regards to the charging handle and the safety. There's a lot of different ways to do it. This is very different than AR-15, so whatever you think you know about ARs, just get it out of your head. This is an AK, it's totally different. We have a reciprocating charging handle on the right side only, and we have a big old leaf spring on the side of the gun. That's our fire selector, or in this case, our fire and safe selector. Although this one does have the naughty position, it's not actually a full auto, it's regular, but it's cool. If you find any of this stuff useful in any way and you want to help us out, best way to do that is, we don't have Patreon, we don't have paid ad reads for ball sack razors. You should get something if you want to support us financially. Go by Third Pin Threads, man. We have hats, shirts, beanies, hoodies, all kinds of stuff to let you flex on everyone that you shoot a man's gun. Isn't that right? Yeah. So, we as Americans are a little goofy when it comes to manipulating AKs. We don't know what to do with our hands. Now, we have other videos going over reloads, proper stance, proper recoil control, but this one's going to specifically focus on safety manipulation and manipulating the charging handle for different things. So, you're actually going to see us use right-handed charging handle manipulation and left-handed, and what the difference is between the two as far as use goes. Again, I want to give a big shout out to Dima at Center T. I learned a lot of these techniques from them. It's good if you can train with guys that have actually grown up in countries where this was the only gun that they had access to. Maybe they went in the military, whatever. There's a lot of Americans teaching really good AK classes, but when you learn from the Eastern Europeans, where they eat, sleep, and breathe these, kind of like we did with AR-15s, there's just a little bit more you can learn from them. So props to Dima. Thank you so much, sir. I'm going to pass a little bit of this info along. Right off the bat, we talk about this in another video, but I'll go over it now. Have you ever bought an AK and the safety selector is so heavy and tight that right when you get it out of the box, you're like, damn! And you have to just manhandle it. Extremely easy to fix. If you look at this, it's extremely easy. Real quick, it's a free modification. You can tune your safety the second you get it out of the box, so let's get that out of the way now. As I said before, your safety selector is nothing more than a leaf spring. What makes it so heavy and tight is it is actually bending into the receiver, pressing into the receiver, so that when it falls into these safety selection points, it will stay there. Well, sometimes they're way too tight. So all you have to do is take your dust cover off, flip it straight up. You're not going to hurt anything. This is actually how you take it out of the gun. Leave it inserted, straight up in the air, and then flex it away from the receiver, little by little at a time. Set it back down and feel it. If it's still a little tight, come up, flex it a little bit more. If you go too much, that's fine. Bend it back the other way. You should be able to get to a point, which this one is now. You should be able to get to a point where with a knife hand, holding on to your grip, you should be able to manipulate this safety with a knife hand. Without trying too hard, but it should still be tight enough where once you get it into position, it should stay there. It should not move under recoil or moving. If your safety selector is like falling out of position, it's way too loose. Bend it back the other way. Now that your safety's tension is in a good place where you can actually manipulate it, let's talk about that first before we get into charging handles. This is extremely simple. If we're going to be manipulating it as a right-handed shooter, all I do, like I said before, knife hand, right? Think 007, you're starting off in the porta potty and you're coming out and you're knife handing a guy. Knife hand. Here's my thumb. Holding the grip. You know how everyone says keep your finger off the trigger, keep it on the side of the gun? Same thing, but with AKs, keep your whole hand up here. Make the knife hand, keep it all right here. When it's time to go, roll your hand forward a little bit with your index finger supporting the weight of your middle finger. Grab it, still make it a knife hand, come down. Same thing coming back up, I'm using my middle finger, and I'm kind of supporting my middle finger with my ring finger and my pinky, coming back up. Down, back up. Down, back up. Bang, bang, bang. That's on safe, nothing's gonna happen. Bang, back up. Bang, back up. Could not be easier once it's tuned properly. Let's say you want to manipulate your safety with your left hand. This can be done. This really only works if you don't have an optic. If you're running iron sights and there's nothing here in the way, another way to manipulate it is as such. You can slightly roll the gun over, push down with your left hand, bang, bang, bang. You can come back, scoop it up, close it, push down, bang, 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 come back, scoop it up. It's just another way to manipulate it. You have a ton of leverage over here. Your whole hand's in place. You're not making a knife hand. But this requires you to kind of support the weight with your armpit and your elbow to where you can get to it. So what you could see is if like a guy's coming in to load his gun, there's no round in the chamber. Magazine comes in, safety's still on. I would slightly roll the gun, swipe my safety down, charge it, come back over, back on safe. I could press check into the safety. It won't kick my round out. Go back home with it. So what that looks like going a little bit faster if I'm loading. Press check, back, doing my thing, bang. That will become second nature the more you do this, the more you dry fire and practice over and over and over again. So there is the easy way with your right hand to do your thing. You can swipe with your left hand, come back. From empty, scooping down, charging, scooping up, press check into the safety, force it back home, and you're good to go. That's really it when it comes to the safety, man. Once you take all that tension out and it's not so damn heavy, it becomes super easy. What I don't want you to do is what you see a lot of people do. They'll come up with their thumb and they'll come down. Kind of a waste of effort, and your whole hand's coming off the grip. If you care about breaking your grip, you could just knife hand it, push down, come right back to your trigger, come right back up. If you have to do this to drop your safety, it's probably still too tight. So get it to where you can knife hand it straight down and straight up. Let's move on to what we do with this reciprocating charging handle. Basically what I'm going to do most of the time is, again, I'm going to make a knife hand with my left hand now, my thumb, see my hook. I'm going to support the weight. I'm going to come over and hook with my thumb, keeping all my fingers away from the receiver. See that? Coming down. I don't want to make a fist, because if I do that, all this sharp, stabby, terry stuff is going to drag across your knuckles, and that safety is going to drag across the palm of your hand. So it's very easy to knife hand, hook, go. Super simple. A lot of people actually use their index finger to hook, and that's fine. Your thumb kind of stays in the line of fire here with your dust cover. I have shredded my thumb. I mean, look how sharp that is right there. It's pretty sharp. So a lot of people will actually do their thing. They'll charge, come underneath with their index finger, and go. Totally fine. You just have to work a little bit harder to keep your hand away from the receiver when you're dragging all your fleshy bits across this AK receiver. So my way, thumb, knife hand, charge. Not a single part of your hand touches the receiver that doesn't need to. So you won't start leaking. Another way that guys will do this is with their pinky finger. Again, if you don't have a optic and everything up here is nice and smooth, what you can do is keep everything tucked in your shoulder, supporting the weight. You can just slide your hand down the gun here. You can grab it with your pinky. You can make another knife hand. Start here, slide, let it go. Super simple, right? So, a couple of ways. And the pinky. That's really it. Notice, my right hand could stay right here near the trigger the whole time. The only time, in my opinion, you should ever be using your right hand, this is for right-handed shooters, if you're going to be working that charging handle, is for malfunctions. I'll tell you why. Bang, 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 I get a double feed. If I come back and try to fix my double feed here, I can't see anything that's going on in my chamber. Did the round fall out? I don't really know. Might still be in there. Might just make it worse. So, a good thing to do here is, if you have a malfunction, anything at all, this is a good opportunity to come back, shake, and you can see what's going on. Shake, you can see what's going on. So, scenario, shooting a match one time, my ALG trigger falls apart. It becomes a bolt action gun. I have to keep chambering it every single time to reset my trigger. I wish I still had the footage, but DEMA kicked in after it was this. It was bang, nothing. Reset, bang, reset. I got so tired and I thought, what am I doing? Bang, reset, bang, reset, bang, reset, bang, reset. It's the fastest way to get your trigger reset. It's the fastest way to get something out. And because it's your right hand, just the way that your body's positioned, very easy to shake it out and get rid of it. So, right hand is for resetting your hammer in case of a malfunction, getting something out of the gun. This is for everything else. For you lefties, pretty much it's your right hand doing everything. If you're here, your right hand can do freaking everything. You can see what's going on, tilt it out. You lefties kind of have it easy. You're not reaching over, under, breaking your grip. It's just all right here. Really hard to mess that up for lefties. But for the majority of you right-handed shooters, that is how I manipulate the safety and the charging handle. So really quick, we'll get a mag of ammo. We'll take a few rounds downrange, manipulating our safety and working our charging handle. So I'll show you that now, and then we'll close out this video. So let's start off with the right hand. Let's say I'm almost positive there's a round in the chamber. My hammer is set. I'm going to squeeze and shoot at this target here. If nothing happens, I'll show you how quickly you can get this thing back on its feet with a new round in the chamber with your right hand instead of your left hand. So we'll have a malfunction, and then we'll reset it. You ready? Again, we're on our safety. I'm making a knife hand. See my start position here? I'm just going to swipe down and do my thing. Nothing happened. Shot the target down. Nothing happened. That could have been many things. That could have been a dead round. That could have been a carrier that wasn't fully seated. Could have been a lot of things. It was so much faster to just break the grip, charge, go right back to the grip, and shoot. That couldn't have taken more than a couple of seconds. My left hand, I would have had to come over, come under, get back. I stayed looking at the target the entire time I fixed that. That is why your right hand's perfect for malfunctions and resetting that trigger. So we'll actually try to force a malfunction this time. We'll shoot until maybe something bad happens. Right hand, couple little charges, got it back in business. Fast and easy. It fixes it, resets my trigger, does everything. Instead of this. It's a quick rip. And notice when I'm ripping, I'm kind of tilting the gun down, doing my thing. And it gets that round out, or the casing, or whatever the hell's going on, and we keep going. All right, couple of things here. We're gonna manipulate our safety a few different ways, and we're gonna work that charging handle with our left hand. So let's go ahead and do this here. Empty, mags out, coming in, knife hand, charge, right back, safety's right back in place, and we're back. I've stepped up to the plate. I'm at a competition, I'm at a class, whatever. I'm gonna load this thing from being totally empty, hammer forward. Just keep things safe and positive. Ready? I'm gonna come up, scoop down, charge, swipe up, press check. Notice I can check to make sure it's in the chamber, but because my safety's on, I can't kick the round out.
Remember, Yugo pattern AKs, Serbian AKs will allow the round to eject if you charge it with the safety on. But for every other pattern, this is the case.
Force it back home, we're good to go. Low ready, knife hand, swipe down, swipe up. Now we will try tilting the gun here, coming across and swiping. That's why you don't want to do that if you have a round in the chamber. I'll show you what happens. If I have a round in the chamber and I've done this, I'm going to have to move my head. It's going to throw a round in my face. I don't know if you saw that. You see that? If I come here, I've seen many dudes bounce a round off their forehead and their freaking nose doing that. Don't do that. So, our gun is empty. We can push down, charge, scoop it right back up, press check, force it home. We're good to go. If you want to operate it back here with your left hand, it's fine. I don't recommend that. But if you absolutely have to, maybe something's wrong with your right hand and you have to do more with your left, perfectly simple. But if you can, knife hand it all day. that's really all there is to it. Rewind, playback, do whatever you have to do to see all this stuff over again, but it's a lot of knife hands, and each hand has like a dedicated job. Right hand's only doing one thing, your left hand's doing a couple things, and there's a very specific reason why. And that's really all I have for you. I hope I covered any questions that you guys might have about tuning your safety, manipulating it, why you manipulate it this way, and your charging handle. If you have any more questions at all, I'd be happy to answer them. I usually stick around the first couple days on a YouTube video, and I always read the comments, and I try to answer as much as possible. Leave those comments down below.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.
Damn. You control that recoil really good.
Love you, bye.